Shalom, shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem HaKadosh. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Giving all praises Kal Halalyam La Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ba'Hashem Rakah Kodash or Rakah HaKodash. The Holy Spirit. I just say Holy Spirit. I'm going to title this video "And David their King in the Last Days." And that's from Hosea 3 verse 5. This is what the topic is on. David sitting in the number one throne, the physical throne on the planet Earth when the kingdom is established. On the planet Earth, you have Yahweh, the Heavenly Father. You have Yahweh Shai. You have the angels. You always have the angels. Chief angel under Yahweh Shai is Michael, Mayaka Allah. Mayaka Allah means loosely translated godlike. They're Michael Jordan. If the Most High came in the form of a man and played for the NBA, he would come off. He would look like Michael Jordan. Michael. The name Michael means godlike. Michael Jackson. Lord came down as a performer. He would come down somewhat like a Prince or Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's a great performer. Michael, godlike. Mike Tyson, Michael. If the Lord came down as a boxer, he'd be knocking everybody out. That's Mike Tyson, Michael, godlike. Or who, literally, who Mayaka Allah means who, ya, ka, who like, Allah, who is like God, who is like God, who like God. So he's a chief angel among the rest of the three, the four archangels, and then you have the innumerable amount of angels on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. See, in the kingdom, we'll be able to call demons. We'll have control of the demons. They're not, when the demons that went into that man, the demon named Legion meaning about 7,000 demon, powerful demons, 7,000 demons named Legion. When those demons saw the Lord, they bowed down to him and they called him by his name. He said, "Shut the hell up. Don't be telling my secrets." So we're into this topic here, David. It says in Jeremiah 30 verse 9, "But they shall serve Yahweh, their power, their God, and David, their king, whom I will raise up unto them." We teach and believe based upon faith that King Mashar is King David. Can the Most High raise up a man that's dead? Can the Most High raise a man up? Lazarus was raised up. Our Lord was raised up after 4 days. I mean, after 3 days. So technically, he was raised up on the 4th day. So it's an easy thing. It's an easy thing for our power to raise up the dead. Is David alive, walking around as he in one of the camps? Based upon what we believe, that Marshall is King David, Marshall passed, so the Most High will have to raise him up. Is it going to be in the midst of a great tribulation? Are we going to actually receive spiritual power? We're going to have spiritual power. And if the Lord gives you spiritual power, can you raise the dead? Or can the Lord raise the dead? Give me a second. I got to find this one precept. Well, let me find another tab. Let me do this. Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. Saints are the saints are the Israelites. Anytime you come across the word saints in the Old Testament or the New Testament, they are the Israelites. I mean, you could just do a vast topic on the word saints. Okay, this is what I wanted. Matthew 27. I knew it was in Matthew's. I knew it was like around 26, 27 verse, 28 verse. Matthew 27 verse 52. And the graves were open, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose. Let me open this up. So if King Mashah is actually David, the Most High is going to raise him up. I believe that's Romans 6, and you were dead in sins. And you shall rise up with my as my dead. Matter of fact, let me go to it. I'm sorry, let me go to it. I gotta open up another tab here. Oh, I was reading this. We got a lot of intel on us. Black Hebrew Israelites goes into the One Westers and the very first group, and a lot of information. Let me matter of fact, let me go over here. You can always come back to this. I'm getting into this subject because of I believe his name was War, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody could correct me, out of Mississippi, former head of the Mississippi camp. He no longer with the camp, and he basically coming against really the leadership of GMS. He said, David got to be walking around right now. He doesn't have to be walking around right now because the Most High can raise any man up. That's the power that's the Most High. Yahweh Bashim Shai has a power that Esau doesn't have. Esau can't raise himself from the dead. Like one of the was David Rockefeller got 7 heart transplants to keep his ass alive because he didn't want to die. He didn't know it was out there beyond the skies. So where did I say I wanted to go? Matter of fact, let's come back to this. So I got this tab open. It's over here. It'll come back to me. It's 49. Okay, Matthew 27, verse 49. The rest said, the rest said, let us see whether Elias will come to save him. Those were the Israelites mocking him. Yahushua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the spirit. As they say in the medical field, he was clinically dead. Now, people that have clinically died, check the heart rate, no heart rate, no form of life, and then it's the body, the spirit comes back in the body. It's called the outer body experience. And the Apostle Paul experienced that when he was stoned. He actually died. And that's when he went up into the heavens of heavens of heavens. And he saw things that were not lawful to speak on, meaning he couldn't put it into words. He saw the glory and the splendor of the spiritual realm, and he also saw how terrible the Most High is, because he said that knowing the terrors of the Most High, we persuade men. '51st verse, and behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twine. Now that goes into Hebrews, the book of Hebrews, the Apostle Paul, that's a very important book, because how did the Apostle Paul know all this to write all these books? Because the Lord was supping with him. That's in Galatians 1. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twine in two from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. That was that power. Give me a second. Okay, thought it was the door. And the graves were open, and many bodies of the saints, the Israelites, this was in Palestine, they came out the graves. So the Most High, and some of them have been dead for years. Well, they were dead. up until the point where their bodies decomposed and it was a skeleton. Because there was a ceremony where you buried the dead, and after about a year, there would be a skeleton. Then you would take the bones and put it in a box, and you would put it in another place. What, like today they call it mausoleums. The Lord was put in a a tomb in the rocks, sepulcher. But as the custom goes, you take the bones. When you read about Isaac and our patriarchs, the forefathers, they carry the bones, right? They carry the bones of Isaac, of Abraham, or whoever. They carry the bones. So that was about a year. So I would guess that some of them died a year before that, 6 months before that, recently dead. That was the miracle that the Lord did to Lazarus, because his sisters Mary and Martha and the rest of them said, if you would have came, he wouldn't have died in this 4 days. So they knew he had the power to raise the dead, but you can't raise the dead after 4 days because the body decomposes. There's nothing to work with. The Lord Yahweh Shai uses spiritual power. That's high science. That's all it is. It's high. It's a science. Esau could do amazing things. There's miracles in Revelation 13. It's technology. Where do you think he got the technology from? The Lord has the technology to raise up the dead, to bring back. That's in that movie. What's the name of that damn movie? Oh, the movie Elysium. They had machines where it looked like a CT scan. They call it a CAT scan. That they put you in that machine, and there's robots there. Whatever sickness, with cancer, no matter what, it heals you. But you had to be registered with them. So it was only, I'm sure you all saw the movie Elysium. There was a scene in the movie Elysium where the bad guy, he got an explosion, blew up in his face. I forget the details. And they carried his dead body around with his face. You couldn't even recognize his face. Then they put him in the machine. Then his face came back together. And then he came back to life. Esau knows that technology, but Esau doesn't have that technology. But our Lord has the technology, or that science, which is spiritual power. And we're gonna get it too. It said, ye that I do, you shall do in greater. Why do you think these people want to be us so bad? Because we're the greatest people, we're the soul of the earth. Is there ever going to be a small hat that's going to be a MVP in the well, for that matter, in the NFL, the NBA, boxing? Ain't nothing coming out. Ain't no power coming out of the land of the small hats. They can't compete with us as far as music is concerned, sports, or anything that we go into. Yeah, what about business? Jake don't know nothing about business because that's a science that they teach you in colleges. That's why you got to go to business school. It says, and the graves were open, and many bodies of the saints, the Israelites that died, I will say, 6 months ago, a year ago, before the bones were taken out and they were put into that box, which slept, arose and came out of the graves after his resurrection So the Lord was resurrected. The saints got resurrected, and some of them were dead for a year, 6 months, a year, and went into the holy city and appeared unto many. Or it says holy city. Now when the centurion and they that were with him watching Yahushua saw the earthquake and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, truly, this was the Son of the Most High. And that's what they're going to say again. Truly, this is the Son of the Most High. Truly, these are the people of the Most High. And many women were there beholding afar off, which followed Yahushua from Galilee, ministering unto him, among which was Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of James and John. Yeah, she was a big mouth. You put one of my sons on one side and put the other one on the other side. And the mother of Zebedee's children. So the Lord can raise up anybody he wants, anytime he wants to. Give me a second. Let me try it this way. First Thessalonians 4, verse 17. I'm started above that. Those who died in Yahushua HaMashiach. First Thessalonians 4, verse 13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep. Now, what do we read in Matthew 27? Them that slept came out of the graves, walked back into the holy city. So asleep right here means dead. But people that are asleep wake up, right? So the dead are gonna wake up. That ye saw not even as others, which have no hope. We are what? Prisoners of hope. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, and we believe that, even so, them also which sleep in Yahushua, Abba Bivens, Elijah, that's Elijah, that's definitely fulfillment of Malachi. Malachi 4. 14 verse again. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua, that's also in Revelation 14. I'm merely paraphrasing. So you see how easy it is for the Lord to raise somebody from the dead, right? So I mentioned Revelation 14, them that die in the Lord from henceforth, their works do follow him. Abba died, his works did follow him. Masha, Yaquab, any of the brothers, sisters that were down with this thing, you die, the works do follow you. Then you're gonna be raised back up again. Abba's gonna be raised back up. I believe he's Abraham when it says Abraham, you see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom. Abraham is Abba. That's through the Spirit. Flesh and blood have not revealed it to me. I didn't read no book, sacred book on it. Isaac is Yahweh Shai, and Jacob is Mashah, which is King David. That had to be Jacob. It had to be Jacob. 13 verse. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. But there's hope there because they're gonna be raised up. And this is gonna bug Esau the hell on out, man. Hey, the Most High getting ready to do something, man. But that one prophecy has to be fulfilled before all hell breaks loose, before the time of Jacob's trouble is going to be the charagma, which you got some camps that can't see it because they choose not to see it. That's why me and Paul Kersey goes back and forth. Paul Kersey, you need to grow a backbone and step up to the plate. All right? Because your man, your Lord, Bishop Nathaniel, he's going to look like a goddamn fool when that time comes. You're going to have a lot of guys bugged out and scrambling. Because when it actually comes out, everybody going to be talking like they talking now. GMS this, GMS, the Apostle Tahar, and the apostles and the elders and the bishops. We got to go where they speaking at. Where they speaking at? We got to go see them. I don't like a whole lot of people seeing, unless they, let's say I got a crowd listening, they don't know nothing about the truth and they want to learn the truth. But guys that I'm not all into that buddy stuff. Yeah, I want to speak right next to this brother. Yeah, one time a bunch of brothers came out bringing wine, which, hey, bless you, brothers. I was rude, so I'd be rude in speech, not in knowledge. And they were bringing wine and they wanted to, I got this precept. I said, brother, you know the truth. What the fuck you around us for, man? I was rude, but sometimes you gotta be, sometimes you gotta be that nigga. I'm rough around the edges. Yeah, back in the day when we were younger, we used to get into tussles and fights every goddamn week. I remember, man, I was so damn crazy. We went to the main precinct, Midtown South, Ravello, he was there. And I prophesied, I said, you're going to bug out in front of your own men. And wound up bugging out, dancing like a chicken, 44th Street and what is it? In front of the 1515 building. But I remember going down to the precinct. He was sitting up there. He was one of the head guys. And I remember cursing him out in the precinct. And then these cops that grabbed me up and beat the shit out of me, they were frozen. I looked around. I said, these cops ain't doing nothing. And I was shaking the hand. I was shaking the hand at him. Motherfucker, you, this, that, this, blah, 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 blah. You better leave us the hell alone. And I heard he shot himself in the head. I don't know how true that is, but I don't see him no more. Officer Ravello, NYPD. And he was, I don't know if he was a sergeant or whatever, but he had it in for me, boy. And I had it in for him. But anyway, it says, for if ye believe, we calm down a lot. Trust me. Trust me. But Car, that was another wild one. I was another wild one. You know, Apostle Gabar and Apostle Rhyme Lob, they weren't too wild, but they got wild too. I remember I call it the Apostle Rhyme Lob helicopter kick. And he jumped up and he threw this crazy ass kick. I said, "What the hell? What the hell kind of kick is that?" You know, because we had like a rumble out there, a rumble in the jungle. And so anyway, let me shut the hell. Let me get back into it. 14 verse, First Thessalonians 4 verse, and then we're gonna get into David. We're gonna get into David. We're gonna get into Helkiah, Eliakim, David. Uh, for if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, which we do, even so, them also which sleep in Yahushua will the Most High bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of Yahweh, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of Yahweh shall not prevent them which are asleep. If David's asleep at that time, he's going to be raised up. And that's going to be in the midst of Jacob's trouble. I will set up over you David, the king. He can raise up David right now. Wherever David is, King David is, whatever grave he's at, if they say, let's take him back to Jerusalem, he's going to raise up out of Jerusalem, come to Babylon. Those dead, those ones that died in the Lord, when the ships come and they beam us up, you're going to be seeing dead. But oh, that's Abba. Oh shit, that's Abba. Shalom, Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh, Rakatah. Oh, that's Masha, King Masha. Oh, that's Yaikwa. Oh, that's this brother. That's that brother. And they're going to be beamed up in the ships before we that are alive will be, they're going to be beamed up in the ships before us, and then we're going to be beamed up and we're going to meet them up there. So when we get up in the ship, guess what? And it's going to be one ship. That's the Lord's ship. We're going into one ship. The angels are coming down to do the damage. Now, that's in Revelation 11, but in other precepts, like, for example, Psalm 91, it says the angel's going to, cover us with their feathers and all that. But I go with a revelation that is one ship. That is one ship. But we'll see. But when you want to be in the main ship, when you want to actually be with Yahushua in the ship, you get a chance to meet Yahushua. And remember, the ship is as big as a mountain. 2nd Ezra 13. 2nd Ezra 13. Ezra said that he was on a mountain. That's how big the ship was. They have a mountain retreat in Colorado. I did a video on it. Cheyenne mountain retreat or something like that. It's a mountain. It's an actual mountain, and they said that mountain can hold over 1 million people. So the Lord can bring a ship that can hold 1 million people, 10 million people. So when we get beamed up, we'll be able to meet Abba Bivens, Elijah. We'll be able to meet again King Mashah, High Priest Yaquab, and whoever else have died. brothers that were in the truth that had got sick and died, it died in the Lord, they're going to be beamed up too. So that's going to be a happy occasion, man. And then we're going to take the whole world over. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and forever. There's nothing you can do about this. Vocab Malone talking about, I want to have an interview with you and no tricks and no get. Nigga, you about tricks. That's what the devil does. Devil does. I'm gonna be straight, no tricks, and the devil bring all kind of tricks, man, and use what you said against you. I want to know the true history. Do you want to know the hit? Look, let me say this. What happened before the major split was not too much. We went to class. Just certain brothers you were cool with. You might have went to the movies with certain brothers. Brothers might have played cards or chilled out, and that's it. You know when it got real spicy and dicey? When that major split came. When them demons jumped on Nathanya Alaga and the rest of them dudes, that's when I explained that. That's when the spices came. Before that, it was nothing but pure brotherhood, man. I remember the days when myself, General Johanna, Yashawan, High Priest Yashawan or whatever, even some of the shy, and then we used to go to clubs after camp. And I remember they used to always tell some of the main ones used to say, "Well, Tahar, you going?" I said, "Nah, I'm not." He said, "Nah, man, you got to come out to the club." I said, "What the hell you need me to come out to the club for?" He said, "Because you the guy that gets us the woman." And what did that mean? That meant I ain't had no fear. I would go up to a woman. I said, "Would you like to dance?" If she said no, I go to the next girlfriend. "Would you like to dance?" She said, "Yeah, sure." Wound up getting a number. Then her girlfriend gets in a fight with the chick I'm dealing with. Well, he came to me first. I said, "Well, you didn't respond, you know." And then they would not no longer be friends. But I would break the ice, and they would have their girlfriends, and I would introduce them. Well, this is Sonia, and this is Barbara, or whatever. So that's why they were scared to go up to the girls. You don't give a shit, man. You know, but that goes back in the day. General Johanna wasn't afraid. He'd go up to a girl, talk shit. That was back in the day. So there was nothing but pure brotherhood, man. Nothing but pure brotherhood. I remember to this day, my phone, remember you had the house phones and you couldn't pay the bills, they cut your phone off. Like it'll be $85 and you only got 40. Can I give you 40? Nope. If you don't got the whole thing, we're cutting you off. Then you scrambling to get the money. That was between jobs. And I remember General Johanna heard about it and he said, "Yeah, what you need to get your phone back on?" You know, I said, I think it was 82 something. And he came out his pocket. He was the most I kind of blessed, but he came out his pocket. He said, "Here." And I looked, I said, "Damn, man, this is a true brother right here." And I paid the phone bill and the phone was back on, you know? Hey, I remember when Aria's phone was cut off, he owed like over Ariel owed like over 1,000. I think it was 1,400. This is back in like 89. You know how much, you know how far $1,000 could go back then? Man, you can live for 2 months off of that. But anyway, there was one brother, Benjamite brother, that offered to pay his bill. He look, High Priest Ariel, I'm gonna pay your bill and put your phone back on. But Ariel, he was like, he didn't want to take people's nah, it's all right. I'll deal with it, you know. Then eventually, you know, the phone was got back put back on. Hey, them guys, I'm ranting. Bear with me with my folly. That's what Paul said. I'm not saying I'm Paul. Hey, the High Priest Ariel and High Priest Yaikwab, and for that matter, High Priest Shaw and High Priest Yeshaya. Yeshaya lived maybe 5 blocks, exactly 5 blocks from the school. They all lived in close proximity to the school. But them motherfuckers lived in 1 room. You couldn't get 3 people in there. If 4 people in there, that's a crowd. And they had all this stuff on top of each other. They were living very meager. And I used to go to there. I used to go to the house unannounced. Bop, bop, bop. What you doing, Ariel? What's going on? Like if I heard he hit the numbers, I would go look for him to get some money. I said, Ariel, I need 100. And Ariel would give it to me, man. And then if I came in the money, I would give it to them. You know? I remember one time we were speaking, and some brother, and now the council said, since you run the camp, whatever people give you money or whatever, that's your money. I think it was like 500. So I gave Ariel 100. I gave Shaw 100. This was back in like 89, 90 maybe. And I told him, I said, look, I said Christmas, I said Santa Claus came early this year. What do you mean by that, brother? I said, here, I gave them 100. They were happy. Do you know what you could do with $100 back in like 1990, 1989? You know how far $100 go? Give you one more story. This guy that I ran into that I hadn't seen in a year. He was a pro boxer, and he was boxing this guy. He was a personal sparring partner for Doug DeWitt. He was a white boy, but he could have been a Jake. And he was a world champ back in the 80s. And he fought Tommy Hearns. Hey, watch that fight. Put in Tommy Hearns versus Doug DeWitt. And you see that white boy move. And that was a good fight, man. That was a damn good fight. Matter of fact, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it after, later. But anyway, this guy, this Jake, Jesse Lanton, the Lanton brothers. These guys are all crazy. They were fighters. They were Reubenites. Anyway, I ran into him in another gym, Aaron Davis gym, and I'm looking at him. I said, do I know you? What's your name? He said, Lanton. I said, oh, shit. Yo, man. He looked different. So I remember we were talking, and I said, well, how much did Doug pay you to spar? He used to pay me $25 a session. I said, $25? He said, man, you know what I could do with $25? That was a lot of money back then. Anyway, forgive me for my rant. Let me come back to this. Let's give you some war stories. By the way, we're in the moon of the moons, the moon of all moons, the memorial blowing of the trumpets, celebrating all the new moons, not the full moon. 13 verse. But forgive me, I'm ranting. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. Vocab alone, you have no hope. No hope for you, man, unless you're an Israelite. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so, them also which sleep in Yahushua. Oh, and everybody, even Edomites now know that the Lord, even white people, they even believe, I don't know, Jesus might be a black man. He's just dark-skinned man from the Middle East. So that old Caesar Borgia stuff is played the hell out in Yahushua. Will the Most High bring with him? For this we say unto you by the word of Yahweh, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of Yahweh shall not prevent them which are asleep, that's in the graves. He's going to bring them bodies together. They're going to put flesh on them, Ezekiel 37. The sinews, the blood, the flesh. Then he's going to put breath in them, the breath of life, and then he's going to raise them out of the graves. And they're going to be beamed up into the ship. And so when we get up in the ship, Most High will, I make it in the ship. Got to be humble. We're going to see Abba as a young man, Marshall as a young man. And I saw pictures, King Marshall showed me pictures when he was a young man. He was a dapper individual. And I saw pictures of Yaquab when he had a 2 6 shooters, one on either side with a cowboy hat on. That dude was a real cowboy. As you would say, I used to work, I was security in a casino down in Lake Okeechobee, in Florida. That's when he ran into some dude in the casino, because you had Issacharites, you had Reubenites, you had Gadites, you had Jakes. And the man came up and said, when he was a young man, he said, you see all these people here? They're all Israelites. And he said a few words to him. He never saw him again. Oh, there was times where there was this one angel. Now I'm going into something else. Hebrews 13:1. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for some have entertained angels unaware. That means that there's angels among us. And you spoke to angels. I know I spoke to angels. We were speaking on Wall Street. It was me, Ariana, a couple other brothers. And we were coming back on the train. Nobody had a car back then. And there was this man looked like a derelict, bum. And this is when the trains, the New York City system, you can go from car to car. You can't do that no more. And he walked by like his back was, crouched down. And then he turned around and stood up in attention and gave us what they call it, the lion salute, the salute where you put your fist on your heart. But he didn't say nothing. And then we kind of saluted him, and he put his hand back down and went back into like an old, bum state. We went to the school. This was what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Me, myself, the apostles, and one of the bishops, Sakaran, went down, and right in front of we said we're gonna set up a camp right in front of 1 West. And this dude came up, and this guy had to be an angel. And the video's out there somewhere. I don't know who got it. I don't know if Gabar got it still on his page, or they took the page down, or whatever. But this guy, when he rolled up, he said, I just saw some chariots go by. And he was with us for the whole speaking. And I whispered in because Apostle Ramla was standing next to me, and I said Hebrews 13:1. I whispered, and the guys quoted Hebrews 13:1. And then we looked at each other. I said, that dude was definitely an angel. We believe he was an angel. There was another time when I was young, coming into the school, there was this guy that was built. He looked like from another world, and he used to just materialize out of nowhere and just be around us, right? And this was a couple of times. He wouldn't say nothing. He wouldn't say a word. You talk to him, he wouldn't say nothing. No words would come out of his mouth. But he's that's the type of dude that if 3 guys is going to jump somebody, nah, let's leave him alone. He looked like he'll F us up. Anyway, we had a party. Lahab threw a party called the Karate Show Fashion Show Disco. The Karate Show Fashion Show Disco. So we were there, and somehow that guy was there, that built dude. He was dark skinned. And I always said, this guy might be an angel, right? But he didn't pay to get in. He just materialized. He just sat there. He just came out of nowhere. So it was myself. It was, I believe it was Dar or Debar. You're gonna be put to death. You're gonna be white people. You're gonna be put to death. That clown. And it was Johanna. It was a couple of us, and we kind of said, "Yo, brother, you gotta leave because you ain't paid to get in." And he kind of gave us this look like, "Man, don't you know I'll fuck you up?" And we kind of like got some more guys, like we were gonna get physical with the guy. And I looked in the guy's eyes. I said, "Man, that guy might be an angel." And I said, "Man, just leave the man alone." And then they followed my lead, and they let him sit there. And in my mind, see, they wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking like, I said, this is the 3rd, 4th time I've seen this guy. He just kind of rolls up. We can be nowhere near the school. We can be hanging out a mile away from the school somewhere, and all of a sudden he'll show up. So I believe that was an angel as well. And angels have come into the school. The story that Yeshaya with his tall tales, but Yahweh verified. He said there was a man that looked like you don't want to mess with this guy. Like he would, twist your head off. He'll pull your, you have that look like don't mess with this guy. He got that look where he'll pull the heart out of your chest. So they come to conclude, but he was talking. He was talking to Yahweh, and he was talking to High Priest Yeshaya, High Priest Yahweh. And I forget exactly all the words that he said. And then they came to the conclusion that was an angel. So that's why Hebrew, and see, Christians don't understand that because Christians don't read the Bible. They don't read the Bible. You want proof on that? Go to any of Vocab's videos and look at the comment section. The peanut gallery that follow him, no precepts. But now they're trying to get into the precepts. Now they see we got to get into the book too so we can deal with these Israelites. You don't know the scriptures that like we know it. Like we know the scriptures. I'm going a little long, but hey, you don't like it, turn the station. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven in ships with a shout. That's this last trumpet, with the voice of the angel, and with the trump of the Most High, trumpet, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. Then we saying we the hopeful elect, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up. Excuse me. Shall be caught up together with him in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore, comfort one another with these words. So, if David is King Marshall, which we believe he is, based upon faith, then guess what? He's going to be raised. That's when the job's going to be done. Then you're going to say, well, this is David, this is Elijah, this is this guy, this is that guy. So some major spiritual things are going to be happening. You see, every time you look up in the sky, you see these UFOs, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon that came from England. It used to be UFOs in America. Show you that England and London is over America. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so it says, Jeremiah 30, verse 9. But they shall serve the Lord their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Then we just read in First Thessalonians 4 that they're going to be raised up. So we see David to be raised up. And King David, their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Where? In the latter days. And that's going to show you right here. Hosea 3, verse 5. Afterward shall the children of Israel return, and we are in the process of returning. Ezekiel 37, one of my favorite precepts. And seek the Lord their power. And that's what we're doing. That's why this is a threat to these Edomites, these elites. And David, their king, who will be what? Raised up, and shall fear Yahweh and his goodness in the what? In the latter days. What time period are we living in? The latter days. Now let me go to David. Let me just put in David. And try to move fast. David is written. The name David, the word David, is written 1,100 times exactly. 1,100 times. That's an exact number. What I did was I was going through these precepts to put the precepts together. I'm just going to go with the spirit. I didn't proofread these precepts. I'm just going to go with the spirit, like I said. Okay, what was the first? Okay, let's go with the spirit. Let's go to. You know what? Let's try this. Isaiah 9. Bear with me for a minute. I'm just trying to find it. I don't want to read all these verses. Let me try it this way. Okay, that's not it. Let me do it this way. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. Let me just read this. Ye have seen also the breaches of the city of David, that they are many, and ye gathered together the waters of the lower pool. That's not what I want. I'll start from the 20. You can read the whole chapter, but I'm not going to read the whole chapter. Isaiah 22, verse 17. Behold, Yahweh will carry thee away with a mighty captivity. That mighty captivity is talking about America, this captivity that we're in now. What does it say in Baruch? I believe it's 2:30. Let me mark this off. Go to Baruch. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but there's another one to read the whole chapter. if ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude, the Israelite, shall be turned into a small number among the nations, meaning you're going to be scattered. Where I will scatter them. Who did Most High scatter? The Israelites, us. For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, America is a key place. But if you're in Jamaica, you captivity under the Queen. Haiti was in captivity under the French. But you have your own, but you're still up under the French. You're still up under Esau. Anywhere you are, Canada, North America, Central, South America, under the Central and South America, under the captive of the Spanish. That's why they wrote. That's why their religion is Roman Catholicism and their language is Spanish. It says, but in the land of their captivities, they shall what? Remember themselves. What does it mean to remember? That means you forgot something, right? You didn't know that you were that people. So how are you going to be remembered? There was a cry heard, Matthew 25. The men of the Lord went out there and told you that you were Israelites. And this is only for the elect. I'm not going to bend over backwards for anybody else. They had a little debate, Captain Tazariak and Captain Katazak against the NOI, Nation of Islam. That was a complete waste of time. And they won the debate, of course, hands down. But I didn't see none of them NOI guys say, I want to be an Israelite now. It ain't going to happen because of their pride. I wouldn't have wasted my time because everybody heard this. Everybody watches YouTube. Everybody came across Hebrew Israelite videos. "31, I'll read that, and shall know that I am Yahweh, that's in his land, the Most High, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. The Most High going to open them up. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9. 32, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity. That's what we're doing right now. I'm going to praise him right now. Kal halal yum Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and think upon my name. What does it mean? Jesus? Is that the name? Yeah, the name is no, the name's not Jesus. This is the reason why you don't have 100% truth, Paul Kersey, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds. For they shall remember the way of their fathers. Through what? Through Abba, which is Elijah coming back, which sinned before the Lord. I'm not going to read. No, let me read some more. And I will bring them again into the land of Israel. And we're going to take the whole world, which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords. If you notice, it said lords with a lowercase l. We're not going to be like the Lord Yahweh, but we're going to be lords, gods of the earth. We are gods. Vocab got offended by that. IUIC started saying, we are the gods. We are the gods. So Vocab came back and said, no, you can't say you the God. We are the gods. The Lord said that in, what is that, John 10 and 34, if I'm not mistaken? Because they said, we're going to stone you because you say that you're equal with God. And so our Lord said, does not your Lord say that we are gods? So we are gods, and we're going to come back to that godly state. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, the Israelites, to be their power, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. So when Esau goes down and the Most High establishes Jacob, we're never going to go down. We're never going to go down. There's another precept. Let me see if I can find it. If I'm not mistaken, it should be in Ecclesiasticus. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I believe this is it. Okay, this is it. I'll start at 9. Who was taken up in a whirlwind? We know who that's talking about. Elijah was came back as Abba, John and Abba of fire, which is a ship, a chariot, and then a chariot, and chariot of fiery horses. Horses represent power. Who was ordained for reproof in their times, to pacify the wrath of the Lord's judgment before it break forth into fury. So what does it say in Malachi? Least I come and smite the earth with a curse, meaning before I come and smite the earth, the Most High gonna have to raise up the elect, deliver them, then the fury is gonna come. And to turn the heart of the fathers unto the sons, and to restore the what? The tribes of Jacob. How many tribes is there? 12 tribes. That's why Abba knew about the 12 tribes, that they were Gadites, but he couldn't put them together. So Most High work with High Priest Ariah, which he's a man of the Lord, even though he's not doing work, he's a special man. But let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see if the Most High gonna raise him up, or the Most High gonna put him to death and raise him up with Abba and Mo and them, because he's up in age. He's in his 80s. But he was able to put them tribes together because Abba, and I have the videos, the cassette somewhere, where he said that the North American Indians are one of the tribes of Israel. He didn't say what tribe they were, but the Most High worked with Ariah to say, well, that's the tribe of Gad, that's the tribe of Reuben, that's the tribe of Judah. So you guys with the sign, the 12 tribes and all that, you're following the legacy that was given to you by us by way of a key person by the name of Ariah. So now let's come back over here. This is long and stressed out, but Isaiah 22, verse 17, behold, the Lord will carry thee away with a mighty captivity, that's America, and will surely cover thee. He will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball. That ball has buoyancy. That's why it doesn't. A ball does not sink. A boat does not sink. You look at how a boat is built. It's built to have buoyancy. It floats on the water. Like a ball, which is the ships, into a large country. That large country is America. America is a large country. 5,000 miles square, 3,000 miles from the east to the west, and 2,000 some odd miles from the north to the south, or the south to the north. There shall thou die. Yeah, you died in slavery, you got killed, you got put to death. And there the chariots of thy glory, the chariots of our glories were what? The chariots now is going to be the ship, the chariots that we had when we was in our going back to David and Solomon. We had some bad chariots, man. Because Jake, they get coming to some money. The first thing they doing is going to the car dealership to get them a chariot. It says, shall be the shame of thy Lord's house. Now we're a shameful people. But we're getting back up. Jake is doing things, man. Jake is doing better than Esau. "19. And I will drive thee from thy station and from thy state." And the word state means condition. That's why the land of Israel is called the state of Israel because state means condition. It's the condition of Israel. It's not really even a place. It's not a kingdom. It's a condition. The condition of Israel now is that the heathens are down there running things until they get blasted out. And from thy state shall he pull thee down. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah. And this Eliakim has to be David as well. It says, ye and your king shall go into captivity, right? That captivity is talking about Babylon, and the king is David. It says, 21st verse, and I will close him with thy robe and strengthen him with thy girdle, and I will commit. So King David went into captivity. He was out there working in the field too. Deuteronomy 28:36. Ye and thy king shall go into captivity. So that means King David was in West Africa and he got scooped up with all the rest of us. And I will close him with thy robe and strengthen him with thy girdle, and I will commit thy government into his hand. Ultimately, David is going to sit on the throne. Eliakim, and he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder. Whose shoulder? Eliakim, which is David. You know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. I want to go into bear with me for a minute. Okay, Matthew 1, verse 13, and Zerubbabel, which is King David, begat Abiod, and Abiod begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azar. So he's in the genealogy. I'm not going to go all into that. So it says we're going to go into a large country like a ball. We're going to be tossed and turned like a ball. That's the hardness of the middle passage, as they call it. And Eliakim was going to be one of the people in the ships, which is King David. It says, and I will close him with thy robe and strengthen him with thy girdle, and I will commit thy government unto his hand, and he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and the house of Judah. And ultimately, that's King David. King David is going to be like a father to us. He's going to be the top king, which is Peter. And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder. So he shall open and none shall shut. That's the Peter. Did not Peter get the key or the keys? And he shall shut and none shall open. And I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place. And he shall be for a glorious throne. That's the number one throne. Ye in the regeneration will sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Who's going to get throne number one? Peter. Because Peter asked, we did all this, and what are we going to receive out of it? That was David. Peter was right in front of the tomb of him when he was David. He was in the book of Acts, the 2nd chapter. He said, as you can see, David's sepulcher is still here. He was talking about himself. "23rd verse, and I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place, and he shall be for a glorious throne to his father's house." That goes back to King David, which is the king of Israel. "And they shall hang upon him all the glory of his father's house and offspring," because the Lord came out of the loins of King David. King David had his son Solomon had his son Rehoboam on down the line, and through that line was Eliakim, which was given the keys. Give me them keys, inside joke. "And they shall hang upon him all the glory of his father's house, the offspring of," there wouldn't be no Yahushai if he didn't have an actual father. So these Christians don't know it because the Most High is not dealing with them. And the issue, all vessels of small quantity, from the vessels of cups even to all the vessels of flagons. "In that day, saith the Lord of hosts, shall the nail that is fastened in the sure place be removed and be cut down and fell, and the burden that was upon it shall be cut off, for the Lord hath spoken it." We will put up in a higher position. We're going to lose our high position. We're going to be put back in our high position. Now, give me a second. Let me go to the word keys. So David had the keys, right? And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder. So David had the keys. Eliakim had the keys, but who else got the keys? Revelation 1 verse 18. "I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. So be it." I don't like to say amen. "And have the keys of hell and death." Matthew, what is that? 16 and 19. "And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Heaven's an agreement, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loose in heaven." So the heavens is working with Peter, which is David. Blessed art thou, Simon Bar Jonah. Bar is Aramaic for son of Jonas. "The flesh and blood have not revealed it unto you, that who I am, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee, that thou art Peter," which is David, "and upon Zerubbabel, Eliakim, and upon this rock foundation I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven." So he got the keys. David got the keys. What do keys do? Open up things, open doors. So you can't make yourself you can't make yourself the elect. You can't make yourself a prophet. You can come up under us and then do your own thing, and then all of a sudden the Lord is dealing with you. No, the Lord is dealing with GMS. Now, is the Lord dealing with High Priest Arion and them? Nope, the Lord's not dealing with them. Now, is the Most High going to put the spirit back in them? Yes. The Most High is dealing with us. That's why we're so diligent. Do you watch these videos that I put up and other brothers put up? We put up video like yesterday. I put up what 5 videos. Then there was other brothers that put up videos. Thought come to them, they put a video. They watch another video, they put up another video. Anyway, what inspired me? Oh, by the way, this video, get a chance to watch it. Who were biblical Edomites? Unexpected Israel. Pretty good documentary. It pretty much focused on the land, and it went into Quas, the god of the Edomites. So I think I put this in my favorites. I'll come back to this. Anyway, let me do this. Oh, this guy. This guy, look at this guy. He broke off from Lahab. This is his page. Born again Israelites. But look what he said. Blessed by best the high priest Jesus Christ. Stand now in the blessing of God. Don't use Jesus Christ, man. Don't use Jesus Christ. We know the name of the Lord, man. We know the name of the Lord. Show you that the Lord is not dealing with you. Let me see here. Oh, this is the video. UFO hate cult marches on Detroit, and these brothers, they were saying we are God. Yeah, we are gods. We are gods, and they are gods. They're Israelites, so they are gods. So he got a problem with that. Well, the scriptures back it up. He even quotes those 2 scriptures, St. John 10 and 34 and Psalms 82 and 6. So can we say we're gods? You're damn right we can say we are gods. Anyway. Bear with me for a minute. Oh, this chick right here. Yeah, she's getting down. Going into parasites, how to cleanse parasites, food list included. What is that? The genius life, I think that is, and how you see it. Anyway, damn. Let's try this one. This is Sarnetta. Okay, this is what I want to do. What did I say I was going to go? Okay, this is what got me. I spread this out quite a bit. Okay, this video right here.
Cattle. And because you have thrust his side, because you have thrust with side and with shoulder and pushed all the disease with your horns, you have scattered them abroad. Therefore will I save my flock. You hear it? I will save my flock. They shall no more be a prey, and I will judge between cattle and cattle. And I will set up one shepherd over them. He shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. You see that? This is after Israel is restored. And I, the Lord, will be their God, and my servant David a prince among them, and I, the Lord, have spoken. And I will make with them a covenant of peace. I will cause the evil beasts to cease out of the land, and they shall dwell safely in the wilderness and sleep in the woods. And I will make them and the places round about my hill of blessing, and I will cause a shower to come down in the season. There should be showers of blessing. You heard that? And we can keep on reading, but that's good. Oh,
That's the kingdom. That's the kingdom. Oh, there's the video that the elder GMS narrators SC7 Manatazakba, the King David doctrine is trash. You're going off again. And this is from this guy formerly, and he's way off. Oh, he's way off, man. Yeah, but every script video seemed like that he does is to come against GM. He ain't got no problem with Esau. He ain't got no problem with Moab, Ammon, Ishmaelites. He ain't got no problem with the devil himself. He ain't got no problem with IUIC. He got a problem with GMS. But he'll say these one West guys. No, he's talking about GMS, as the elder Natazakba said in the video. So you watch this video. This inspired me to do the video that I'm doing. I'm spreading it out real thin. Forgive me for that. But like I said, it's no big deal. You want to move to another video, you go right ahead. Make no never mind to me. Okay, let me go back to David. Matter of fact, let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. David. $1,100 scriptures exactly on the name David, the word David. Okay, I started right here. And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder, for he shall open and none shall shut, and he shall shut and none shall open. Said that to Peter. Whatsoever is bound on earth is bound in heaven. Whatsoever bound in heaven is bound on earth. What is that? Matthew 16. Isaiah 29:1. Woe to Ariel, which means lion, the city where David dwelt. Add ye year to year, let them kill sacrifices. I didn't proofread these, so I don't know what's going to come up. Okay, this is Isaiah 38, verse 5. Go and say to Hezekiah, thus saith the Lord, the power of David thy father. I have heard thy prayer, I have seen thy tears. Behold, I add unto thy days 15 years. He was sick unto death. He prayed heavily to the Most High. The Most High healed him along with the herbs, but the Most High healed him. And I believe his son was Manasseh. Isaiah 55:3. Incline your ear and come unto me here, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant. That's the new covenant. Jeremiah 31:31, Hebrews 8, verse 6 on down. And that covenant is given to the Israelites. It mentions in both Jeremiah 31 and Hebrews 8, verse 6 on down. It mentions Judah, then it mentions Israel. Then it mentions Israel. Because when Judah and Israel come together, two kingdoms come together, that's you don't got to say, well, this is Judah over here and Israel over there. It's all Israel. Everlasting covenant was the inward the laws are going to be in our inward parts with you, even the sure mercies of David. This is a good one. I'm not going to read it though. This is about David and the house of David executing judgment, and the Most High is going to restore David. Now, when David was in power, did he? What position were the Edomites in? They were in captivity, right? David put garrisons around Edom. So guess what? They're going the Most High going to restore the tabernacle of David as in the days of old. So guess what? We're going to get them Edomites back. And we're going to put them in a captivity again. Oh, this is a good one. Jeremiah 22, verse 2. And the physical king on the earth is King David. The spiritual king on high is Yahweh, then Yahweh Shai. Then you got the angels. Then you got the leadership on the earth, which starts with King David, which is Peter, which is Zerubbabel, which is Jacob, and many others. And it was King David that went into captivity, fulfilling uh, Deuteronomy 28:36, because that's in Deuteronomy 33:5, I believe it is, which is Moses. That's talking about Moses. The first king in Israel was who? Was Moses, Deuteronomy 33. And he was a king in Yeshurun. Jeremiah 22, verse 2, and say, hear the word of Yahweh, O king of Judah, or Yahweh that sitteth upon the throne of David. When Solomon sat on the throne, he sat on the throne of David, right? When Rehoboam sat on the throne, he sat on the throne of David. Our Lord came out of the loins of David. And Christians don't understand that because the Most High is not dealing with you Christians. And thy servants and thy people that enter in by these gates. So the gates are going to be, that's in Revelation 21. Each gate is going to have a name. The pillars are the disciples, the apostles, and the gates. Each gate is going to have a name of one of the tribes. Let me read this one. Jeremiah 22, verse 30. Thus saith Yahweh, write ye this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in the days, for no man of his seed shall prosper. Meaning he's going to have children, but he's not going to sit on the throne of David, sitting upon the throne of David and ruling anymore in Judah. Let me do this. Just to see what these Edomite scholars have to say about this. Let me bring this over here. Man, there's a lot to this book, man. Okay, let's go to Cambridge. Jeremiah 22, verse 30. Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges. Write ye for the word, censor, enter, register, citizen, Isaiah. I'm not going to read all that. He appears to have had children. Like I said, he had children, but his children are not going to sit on the throne. As reckoned as it, because people use that precept to say, you see, so the line was broken. No, he had children, but those children were not going to sit on the throne of David. It says, and not through the line of the kings, uh, Solomon, Rehoboam, etc., and thus was only counted to Jehoiakim, Matthew 1 and 12, according to the legal, not the natural line. It was thus at any rate true that no children of Jehoiachin succeeded to the throne. They didn't sit on the throne because what? Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me try this. Let me do it this way. All right, let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. Deportation to Babylon. Jehoiakim. Jehoiakim. Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, and the third from the last king of Judah. What do we mean by last king? When the Babylonians took them over, they no longer sat on the throne. Subject vessel of Nebuchadnezzar, which he was in the kingdom of Babylon. So therefore, there was no king in Israel at that time, no king in Judah at that time, who reigned for 11 years before he died a violent death, either in combat or by the hands of his own subjects. So that's what it means you shall have no seed. It's talking about you're not going to have a seed that's going to sit on the throne after you because the throne is going to be taken from you because you're under the captivity of the Babylonians. See, Christians don't get into it like we get into it. Right, let me find this back. Hold me for a minute. Jeremiah 22, verse 30. Thus saith Yahweh, write ye this man childless, a man that, and the commentator said, no, he did have children, but none of his children after him, his sons after him, did not sit on the throne. That shall not prosper in his days, for no man of his seed. So that's showing you right there that he had seed. Shall prosper. So his seed shall not prosper, sitting upon the throne of David, because the throne was taken away, the kingship was taken away, because the Babylonians took him down, and ruling anymore in Judah. And ruling anymore in Judah. So now Yahushua came as a king, and then you had the Herodian, they propped themselves up as kings. Oh, we're the king. Israel had a king. I'm the king, the Edomites, which are some damn Edomites, some damn devils. Jeremiah 23, verse 5, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. Who's that talking about? Let's see what the commentators say. Not talking about Solomon, but then again, it is talking about Solomon and another person. Okay, Cambridge didn't even want to touch this. They ain't saying too much about this. but it's the Messiah. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me go to comment. Do it this way. The days come, the phrase, according to Jeremiah's blah, 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 implies a special call to note the announcement thus introduced in spite of the troubles gathered branch, okay, branch, branch, school, bud, while the word designates the Messiah in Isaiah 11:1 is rightly translated branch. This right, oh, look, Jeremiah 23:5 proves to you that our Lord came out of the loins of David. Can only mean shoot. Yeah, when shoot your sperm. That which springs immediately out of the ground. In Isaiah 4, verse 2, the word is used in more general sense, not as here of the individual messianic ruler, but of the produce of the soil and the blissful age of the Messiah. See further Isaiah 4:2. Now let's go to Isaiah 11:1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. That's talking about the stem of Jesse. He's talking about David. Let me do this. We already know this. I don't even know why I'm going into this, but let me do this. Maybe this is to help some of you bonehead Christians. Okay, let me see if they give me the whole chapter. See, when these Christians study the scriptures and they come across certain things they don't understand, they have preconceived notions. No, the Lord, no, Joseph. It says right here, this is a fulfillment of the Messiah. On that day, the root of Jesse shall stand as a branch. That's the 10th verse for the people. The nations will seek him, and his place of rest shall be glorious. He's talking about Yahushua. On that day, the Lord will extend his hand a second time to recover the remnant of his people, which are Israelites, from Assyria, Egypt, and so forth. He will raise a banner for the nations. That's what's happening now. We're raising a banner. But what does the first verse say? The root of Jesse. Who came out of the root of Jesse? David. Who came out of David? Our Lord. Then a shoot, a shoot will spring up from the stump of Jesse, and a branch from his roots will bear fruit. The Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel. And it's talking about Yahushua. It's talking about our Lord and what he's going to do. But he has to come. He wouldn't be the Lord if he didn't come through the lineage of Jesse, David, Solomon, Rehoboam, on down the line to Jacob, which is the father of Joseph, and Joseph, which had actual sex with Mary. The reason why the Christians can't get it, because they got a demon on them, man. Isaiah 6. I'm talking about Jake Christians. Vocab can't get it because he's an Edomite. So let's come back. See, you can't read all these precepts. It's too much explaining. Okay, this is the elder Menachzakbar read. Ezekiel 34, verse 23, and I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, as that's in the kingdom, even my servant David, he shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. He's going to be king number one. John's going to be king number two. James is going to be king number three. The Apostle Paul is going to be one of the kings. '24th verse. And I, the Lord Yahweh, will be their power, and my servant David, a prince among them. I, the Lord, have spoken it. Ezekiel 30, what is that? 37:24. And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgment. That's the kingdom. The Lord's the new covenant. The Lord's going to put the Most High. The Lord's going to put the laws in the inward part and observe my statutes, my laws, and do them. Because we're going to be perfect. We're going to be perfect. '25th verse. And they shall dwell in the land. We're going to have the whole planet Earth. The headquarters are going to come out of Jerusalem, that I have given unto Jacob, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever, and my servant David shall be their prince forever. I can go on and on. Let's try this one. Hosea, what is that? Hosea 3:5. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek their Lord. That's what we're doing now, Ezekiel 37. And their power, and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days. We're in the latter days. And Esau is trying to stop it. Amos 9:11. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. We are the tabernacle of David. We go out there on them highways and them byways and close up the breaches thereof, because all the tribes are going to come together. Remember when David was sitting on the throne, it was one kingdom. And I will rise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Who did David have in captivity? The Edomites. They're going back into captivity. Vocab Malone. Zechariah 12, verse 7. The Lord Yahweh also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah, because the kingship came out of Judah. In that day, 8 verse, in that day shall the Lord Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as, this is for you, vocab. And the house of David, which are men of Israel, shall be as God. And the house of David, the men that are part of David's back then in that kingdom, because you had the house of Saul, the house of David, and so forth, shall be as what? As God. Got to remember that, Zechariah 12:3, as the angel of the Lord before them. When they say God, it really means we're going to be on an angelic level. And that really fits all the Israelites. we shall be changed in a moment, in a twinkle of an eye. What are we going to be changed into? Extraterrestrial, godlike, angelic beings that are placed upon the earth. We're going to be both celestial and terrestrial at the same time. There'll be a glow about us. Daniel 12. There's going to be a glow about us. And I'm not going to read all these precepts, but there's a lot of good precepts. Zechariah 12 and 12, when the Lord shows that body that was 2,000 plus years ago, we're going to all mourn. Another good one, Zechariah 13 and 1, in that day there shall be a fountain open, and that's in the kingdom, to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. So we're going to be cleansed and we're not going to sin anymore. And we don't need no sin sacrifices, sacrifice for sin. And then the Lord, he keeps speaking about David, the son of David. He says he's the son of David. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. I went a little long, but forgive me.